And 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. And today we're on about the first date. A woman's budget can be up to €300 that they'll spend on a first date. Now, I heard this, I would say, about 6 months ago, and it knocked me off my feet. I know a very, very close friend of mine who was speaking, and he knows very well a guy that works in the entertainment industry. In fact, he's a gay gentleman that he works in the modeling world, and he can see what women do, the makeup, the nails, etc. So let's have a look into it, right? Let's try and figure this out if we can. And I'd love to get some feedback by guys on my social media channels if this is true or not, because I've actually done some research on this in the last, I would say, 2 months, asking as many women as possible as I could. I mean, I've even been annoying women because I could be asking the same girl in the same group, but they just weren't around when I asked one of them, and they were split up. Some girls think that's an absolute load of shit. There's no way they would spend 300 quid on a first date. Then some girls have actually turned around and said to me, well, actually, Peter, and they'd have an embarrassed look on their face saying, well, yeah, we do. Some of us do. And one girl said, actually, it's more than that. Probably about 70% of women do this. Now, I'd actually love to have a sparring partner on the podcast here for this one, especially a woman, because I'd love to hear what a woman thinks on this one. But I also want to go solo here because there's a bit to talk about on this. In terms of, let's say it is true, and women are spending €300. Now, what are they spending the €300 on, right? Okay, well, like, maybe it's not out of bed by thinking this. Like, if they get a new outfit, right? Now, okay, look, you could always argue that, well, they're gonna use that somewhere else anyway, right? Totally get that. I'd probably think the exact same way because I'm a guy, right? And it's just the off chance that, well, hey, look, she wants to get a nice dress for herself, and the excuse is a first date, right? Because she wants to make an impression with the guy. So if it is true, you're looking at 300 quid. So let's say you spend 100 quid on a dress. Now, girls, geez, you'll have to forgive me here. I'm doing a guesstimate now on how much you'd spend. Let's say you're getting a hair done. That could be another 100 quid, right? Blow dry and all that. Color. You're getting your nails done. Let's say you let's just put all those three factors in here now. Just the three of them, right? Like your nails done. Is that another 100 quid? Bang. 3 things. A dress, your fucking hair, and the fucking nails. Bang. Right there, 100 quid a pop. You've done it. Like, I gotta tell you, ladies, there's no way on this planet, right? I can't speak for every man, but I'm speaking for the majority of men here. There's no way on this planet a guy's going to go out and spend 300 quid on a new suit or a new jumper or a fucking pants or a combination just for one date. And I think that's where this whole thing of where women come into it too, where it's, they're buying it for the date. And I think men are the same. We're buying a nice suit or a dress for the date. But look, let's face it, you're going to fucking wear it again, right? Let's cut the bullshit. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to use it for another date with a guy or girl, your suit or your dress, but you might wear it for somewhere else, right? Now, I tell you this though. If a guy spent 300 quid to just, first of all, to impress the girl, and second of all, he's going to wear it again anyway, the chances of him actually going out to, as a reason to buy that next suit because of a first date is very slim, if you get me. In other words, it's not going to trigger a switch in our heads as men to say, oh, well, actually, do you know what now? I want to get that new suit and fucking, right? Because it's the first date. No, we're, I suppose in one way we're simpler in that degree, and don't kill me, ladies, for saying that. I mean that in a positive way. I think we just don't look at fashion the same way as you girls do, right? So that wouldn't be a trigger in our heads to go off and go, right, okay, that I was thinking that jumper and suit there the other day. Fuck it, you know what? All right, I'm getting it. Yeah, definitely. Like it's not the clincher that gets us over the finish line to actually get that suit. Right? It'll be a reason to get it, but it's not the clincher, because at the end of the day, if we have something nice to wear at home, we're going to wear that fucking nice outfit at home anyway. Right? We're not going to be paranoid or freaking out that, oh Jesus, I don't know, man. Is my suit okay? Like crank. No, we're not worried about that. If we think we've got something nice at home, we'll just go with that. Right? Excuse me. And the first date, guys, like, I understand. Like, there's so much pressure women are under these days. It's unbelievable. So much pressure to look good, fit into the size 0, fucking -10 dress, right? Like, I don't get it, And, let's go to the backstory of if a woman does spend €300 on a first date. Let's go to the backstory on this, right? Obviously, there's tremendous pressures. We all know this. This isn't something I'm reinventing the wheel here. We all know that women are under a lot more pressure than men to get married, have babies, and da-da-da. Now, the main problem there is that you're giving a fuck what everybody thinks. You give a fuck. Like, and ladies, can I say this to you? If you genuinely actually gave a fuck about I should be married, right? As in if it came from your own voice in your head, right? You would have been married already. You know why? Because you would have picked up the nearest fucking guy from you, right? And you would have just married him. Job done. Like if it was that big of a deal in your head, I'm going to die if I don't get married. And if it was your real internal voice saying that to you, you would have found someone and you wouldn't be single. Guys have it harder, right? We have it harder. I mean, let's be honest. At the end of the day, if a woman wants to date a guy, it's down to the lady. We're lucky that it could be 50-50 on best chance possible on a first date. Men are lucky that the woman maybe even chasing him are 50-50, right? We're lucky at that. And women and ladies, that too, right? It always comes down to the woman deciding, does she want to go out with the guy or not? And look, most of us guys, we know that, we know it. It's just that the cards were dealt. By the way, we're not victims here, okay? So I'm not coming out with a victim card here. It's just the way it is. That's it. Whereas men have advantages over other things, right? But I just want to get back to that point about getting married, ladies, right? Like, do you really sit at home every night? And here's a thing for you. Do you really sit at home every night if you're single, crying yourself to sleep? Or do you wake up in a cold sweat every fucking night of the week? Saying, like, do you really wake up in a cold sweat? Do you really want to get married? I think it's coming from someone else. There's a voice in your head about getting married for a woman. It's your friends and your family. If I'm wrong, do you know how you know? You wake up in the middle of the night in cold sweats, having nightmares because you're not married. If you get to that stage where you're waking up in the middle of the night, freaking out that you're not married, okay, let me say that one more time. There's too much pressure on women to get married at this stage, right? If it really is a problem in your head, your voice speaking to you, you'd be waking up in the middle of the night in cold sweats, panicking, worrying, frustrated. Now, ask yourself, do you sleep at night? If you don't, and if you are having sleepless nights, well then, hey, fair enough. But ask yourself that, guys. Do I wake up in cold fucking sweats? Or is it just when I'm awake? Because that's when that's when you have a real problem. You start waking up in the middle of the night. We all know this, right? But then sometimes we just have to ask ourselves the simplest questions. Like, Jesus, do I actually wake up in the middle of the night? I got to go for a fag. I got to go for a cup of tea because I can't fucking sleep. So I might as well just burn off this energy. And if that's happening to you 7 nights a week, well then, hey, you do want to get married. No doubt about it. All right? Point is, I think it's coming from all our family, all our friends. Now, guys, we're luckier. We don't have that problem, even though I do know quite a few guys, as in, like, it's funny. I've said to my friends, I'm still single at the moment. And by the way, I'd love to meet the woman of my dreams. I'd love to, right? However, I'm not going out to meet her. I'm not looking, hoping that, oh, my next date now, hopefully no, she's the one, man. Hopefully she's the fucking one. I couldn't give a fuck, I'll be honest with you. I really don't. It either is going to happen and there's a connection there, or it fucking doesn't. Because the moment you go into a first date, right, and you start making all that effort, you're not being yourself. A date should not be effort. Now, I understand, ladies, when you're spending this amount of money on a date, if you are spending the 300 quid, all right? Because the chances are it's probably your parents looking at you like,
You're not married yet? What's wrong with you? Really? You don't want to settle down?
all this bollocks, right? Or your friends who are all, quote, happily married, okay? And let's be honest, ladies, I know quite a lot of married men and women, and honestly, the majority of them are fucking miserable. They sold their soul to the devil, and they're putting up with the other person's shit because they think in their head that it's all about having the marriage, having the babies. And don't get me wrong, by the way, I don't have kids, so I don't know what that's like, and I've no doubt having kids is an amazing thing, right? An amazing thing. But the actual marriage of it, like, really, guys, I don't get it. I just don't get the why. And most of the time, ladies, right, if there's any ladies listening to this, like, I think you know it too, but maybe you just get caught up in such the sand pit of marriage that you almost forget, right? A lot of the people that bitch and moan to you about that you're not married, they're the ones that are unhappily married. Okay? Let me say that one more time. The people that come bitching and moaning to you that you're not married, or they look down on you, or they're saying to you, "Jeez, well, you're pushing on, aren't you? You should be getting up there, like, do you know what I mean? Come on. Like, you've only got a couple of years left there now, honey, for a couple of kids." All these jabs at you, right? They're the ones that are unhappily married. And I'm going to come out with another point. And I'll tell you what, and you know why these people are the unhappy ones? Because it's an unhappy person that comes across with a fucking jab to anyone, right? Like, if you think about it, go back to the greatest day of your life. Now, picture it. Imagine that vivid feeling, how you felt. Right. On that day, did you throw a jab at anyone after you got that brilliant news or anything? Or the moment you felt escalated, you were on the moon, you were so happy and proud of yourself, or whatever it was, right? But you were so happy. After that, when you had that feeling, did you actually jab at anyone for the rest of that day? I bet you fucking didn't. Because you were perfectly happy, felt secure, maybe only for a short while. Fair enough, maybe not. But I bet you felt really fucking good, and I bet you didn't throw any jabs at anyone. So imagine, the greatest day of your life. Did you throw a jab, insult anybody? I bet you didn't. And if you are, well, then it wasn't the best day of your life. I'm sorry, excuse me, guys. Just clearing my throat here with some Lucasade. I mean, that's a great way to look at it, guys, really. Always compared to your best day of your life. Right? What would I do on the best day of my life? So anyway, I'm kind of going off on a bit of a tangent here, but still, my point is, guys, like, they're not waking up in cold sweats at home, right? So, like, if you are spending the 300 euros on a first date, right, to impress the guy, well, and because, again, your ultimate goal here is to get married, right? Now, fair enough, maybe your ultimate goal, and you don't know if this guy is going to be your ultimate goal, but spending 300 quid, there's no need to spend 300 quid. Like, girls, I'll tell you how many times now a guy's come back from a date and we've commented on a woman's dress or her hair or her nails. I've gone on a lot of dates in my life, I've talked to a lot of guys over the years, and I don't think I've ever heard one guy come back from a date say, "Oh man, she was, God, she was great, man. She was fucking great, and loved her nails." In fact, if a guy said that to me, I'd be like, "Huh? But you loved her nails? Okay, but what about her face? Is she hot?" That's what I'm saying to my friend. Right? That's what I'm saying to my friend. In fact, I'd be looking at him almost like, what's wrong with him? He's talking about her nails. Jesus Christ. Jeez. Go away from me, you freak. Okay? If he was talking about her hair. Okay, her hair. Right. Because, okay, you'd be like, oh, she's got a sexy hair, man. The way she kind of holds it. And, she looks like a porn star. Or she looks like a really kind of soccer mom sort of hair. Okay, but you still wouldn't be focusing. So if my friend came to me and said, "Oh man, lovely girl, but like her hair is amazing," I'd be like, "Oh really? Okay, fair enough. But what about, like, is she hot, man, or is she cool or what?" I'd address the hair for 2 seconds, and I'm moving on to the next fucking topic, right? Is she fucking hot? Okay. Her dress, let's say. Well, I honestly, girls, I don't think I've ever heard a guy comment on a girl's dress after the first date. "Oh man, I had a great time," or "She was a dickhead, but gorgeous dress in her, boy." Now, he might comment on your ass in the dress. Yes. Or your tits. Yes. But the actual dress? No. So my point is, ladies, this. If your fingernails are clean, right, and they look good even just with no nail polish on, or whatever you call them, we don't give a shit as guys. Your hair. Fair enough. Hair can look, should look respectable on a guy and girl for a first date, for God's sake, We'd comment on the hair, but it's not a deal breaker. Certainly not. The dress, we're looking at your tits and ass in the dress, not the fucking dress. Okay? It might look good in you, no doubt, right? And it might sort of just get the guy to get that extra point, or half a point maybe, out of 10. So like if you're let's say, example now, ladies, if you're a 9.5 out of 10, according to that guy, maybe the dress will give you that extra half a point, so you'd be 10 out of 10 with the guy. Right? And you know what? I might even be actually a little bit generous when I'm giving a half a point on that one. Because I'm telling you, ladies, it's a good thing to address. I have never once in my life heard a guy go on about her nails, hair, comment here or two, but a dress, no. We're going on about your tits and ass. All right? It's as simple as that. Now, you could wear a dress that you've had for, instead of spending your 300 quid, ladies, you could wear a dress that's nice and tight on you. If you've got nice boobs, you've got a nice ass, it shows off your figure, right? You could wear that, and it could be 20 years old, and we'd be going, "Oh my God." And I can tell you this for a fact, ladies, we're concentrating on your boobs and ass instead of a new fancy Prada Calvin Klein dress. Okay? Now, you girls are focusing on that because I know, fair enough, some girls want to outdo other girls. There's a bit of that going on as well, let's be honest. We all know this. Not every woman, of course, right? Not every woman, of course. But there's a bit of that going on as well. So, as long as you look good, ladies, as long as you look good, we don't care if your nails are done, your hair is in a ponytail. We don't care if you've got a 20-year-old fucking dress on you. It's how you wear your nails, it's how you wear your hair, and how you wear your dress. The confidence and sexiness. Now, quite a few girls know this already, but the other girls, it's like a man with confidence, right? He mightn't be the best looking guy, he mightn't be the best dresser in the world, but if he walks in like like Jack Nicholson walks into the fucking room, champion, girls are going to be glued to the guy. Now, let's turn it around. If women are spending a bit of money. Now, by the way, ladies, right? I'm not here to argue on, "Oh, you shouldn't be spending 300 fucking quid." No, I'm not at all. Not at all. Right? You're making an impression. And I totally respect that too. I'm just kind of giving the nuts and bolts of what we're thinking throughout the date. Right? I can tell you this, there's no pressure on us that you should be spending 300 quid. Now, I'm going to flip it around though. And here's the question. Do us guys need to step up to the plate now more? Now, I gotta be fair, ladies. If you know, if you're thinking, oh well, fuck that guy, he didn't appreciate my dress and nails and my hair, what I did. Now, okay, you didn't tell him, but I can tell you this, ladies. Most of us guys aren't sitting there going, oh, I wonder, did she actually get her fake tan there, or nails, or did she get that done for this date? Right? Now, we might be thinking, oh, she's dressed up for this date, which is great. But we're also thinking, oh, well, she probably does this going out to the fucking cinema. All right? So it's not like we're not focusing on, oh, she did all this effort for me. And let's be honest, ladies, it's not all that effort for you, for us either. You obviously want to look good too, But my point is there's no pressure on you to actually spend that 300 euros. Now, given that, I'm a believer in buying the drinks on the first night. Now, I actually did an episode on who buys the first drinks. Now, before I heard about this 300 euros, I am one of those guys, call me old-fashioned, call me a walkover, call me conventional, call me whatever you want. But I do believe that as a man, you should be definitely buying minimum most of the drinks. If you're going on a drinks date or coffee dates or whatever, you should be buying the majority, 90% at least, right? Maybe some guys would disagree with me. Even if a guy said, I buy 70%, 80%, okay, cool. I don't totally understand that. Just for me, I would go at 90%. And if a girl offers to get me something at the end. Now, when I heard the 300 quid, I probably went up to 95% because I went, Jesus. Because you know why? Because I fucking believe it. I actually believe that some women actually spend this money. Now, there's no pressure on me either because I know that it's not just for me. She might go on another date next week and use the same fucking dress. Or she might use it in 6 months' time. Totally respect that. Now, I will say this about men dressing up. Guys, if there's any guys listening to this, okay, we gotta dress up. All right? I do dress up. Now, in fairness, in coronavirus, I was a bit casual. I got a bit fucking lazy, I have to say myself. But after that now, we're back in real life. You gotta get this fucking, get the boat in the ocean here. You gotta get some motion, right? And guys, we have to dress up. Even if it's smart casual. Denim jeans if you want. Nice pair of shoes to go with them. Not fucking runners. Right? A good t-shirt underneath with a belt. Nice classy belt. That matches the blazer. Right? A nice sports jacket. Right? Or just good business blazer. Perfect. Right? And I mean, that should be acceptable. Don't have to dress up in a fucking suit and tie here, But I think men definitely, we need to, as a gender, we need to absolutely, no question, step up to the plate more when it comes to dressing up, because most of us, we dress like dog shit. We dress horrendous. I mean, when I go on first dates and, I look around at, other guys on dates and I see what some of us men are wearing, and it's just like, oh God. I see a guy with a hoodie, a tracksuit, runners. It's like sweatpants as a tracksuit. Runners, I mean, Jesus. And even worse, white runners. Or even worse again, black runners with white fucking socks. Oh my God. If you're going to wear the black fucking runners, wear black socks. And that's a crime as it is to wear runners on a date anyway. Now, I've been guilty of that in social coronavirus, right? I was lazy, should have dressed up a bit more, but I'm back. So yeah, guys, I mean, we need to step up to the plate more. Not 300 quid more, but if women are spending this amount of money, or even if it was 100 quid, hey, fuck, even if it was 50 quid, right, to get her nails done or her hair done, that's a lot of money compared to what a guy will spend. Most fucking guys, 95% of us, will not spend a dime before the first date because we'll use what we have already. I know, is that laziness? Is that, I don't give a shit? I think, ladies, it's more laziness. It's not, I don't give a shit. It's more laziness. And we don't have that, we have that belief that, well, I look good, I'm okay. What's the problem, So guys, anyway, yeah, look, I'm going to about to bounce off here now in a minute. But before I go, maybe it's food for thought for us guys. Should we be spending 50 quid on a new pants? Maybe, maybe not. Should women be spending this amount of much money on fucking fake tan, nails, hair, a dress for a new date? I don't think so. You wear the clothes don't wear you. I'll leave it at that. Guys, thanks for listening. Talk to you later.